Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Open Mouse Podcast. It's been a while since I've done an episode, but I'm back and I'm bringing special guests. So if you would like to come on my podcast, Open Mouse Podcast, please contact me and we'll go ahead and set you up. This is Open Mouse Podcast where you get to open your mouth and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And today's special guest, I have Little Rook. Hey, Little Rook. Hello. There you are. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh,
There you go.
I
How
don't
you
know what's going
doing?
on in the world today. Can you hear
It's
me?
hot. It's hot
That's
outside. That's what
right.
it is.
It's hot. It's everything.
Yes, it is. Hot, hot, hot outside. Oh my gosh.
Sorry
How are
about
you
that.
doing?
I've been good. Hold on, let me. My bad. My dog will
Okay.
not stop barking. Of course, when I go live. Uh, I've been good. I've been hanging in there.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself right now to everyone?
Oh, okay. My name is. We're live, right?
Yes, we're
I'm
live.
all nervous. I
It's
am
okay.
Little Rook, Lilrheuk. I'm a singer, songwriter. Um, I already said songwriter. This has been my first talk show podcast in a long time, so I'm just getting warmed up. Um, yeah.
You're an artist here in
Oh, that.
Vegas. So, and we have worked together in the past, you know. If a lot of people
Yes.
don't know, they know. Maybe they seen the video, but yes, we worked together. I had fun that day being on that video.
Right. That was one of the best videos I've done, and it was so fun. And
It
we were.
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
We need to do another one. That was fun. But yes,
Definitely.
I do listen to your music. I like your music. It's very versatile. It's not your typical music here. So, I really like it.
Outside. Thank
So,
you. Yeah, that video, it was too lit.
yes, we
I
had
was
fun
smoking
though.
blunt after blunt, and we was just vibing. Shout out to my friend Max. Used his cool house.
Right,
Like he's
right.
he's like he shows that video to everybody. Like he's like, look at this video that was at my house. So shout out to Max if he's watching right now.
You have Alexis B right there chatting, saying hi to you.
Oh hey Alexis.
So,
Alexis
one thing
B.
I do in this podcast, I ask every special guest that comes on my show one question, and we like to line things up in the beginning. So, my question to you is, what is your favorite sex position and why?
Ooh. Hmm.
There has to be one favorite one.
Right? I'm like it's hard to decide because um
If there's two and there's two
I,
different
I
reasons,
like I like my favorite sex position. See,
yeah.
um
One that makes it, more different than the other ones, that makes it feel better. Or maybe,
um
hey, gets you a little too excited too quickly, but that's why you like it.
I like what is my favorite sex position? See, that's a hard question because I love every sex position.
Okay, you can name
Well, not
one
every
and
sex
why.
position. Hold on. There's probably millions of sex positions. I need
There
to
it
look it up in a book. Probably like the Superman, no, the bust down. I'm trying to make one up. Uh, Face down, ass up.
Hey,
I
that's
like to
how a
eat
lot of
pussy.
people
That's
like
my
it.
favorite. I like to eat the pussy.
Oh, well, that is the position, you know that.
Is it? Okay, so
Uh,
pussy eating position. What is your favorite position?
okay, my favorite position is
That's
being
a hard
stand
question.
up. Yes, I'm standing up. Okay, bent over, him hitting it from behind.
Oh my god, that's a workout though.
That is a workout.
You go all the way down and touch your feet?
Hey, I could touch my toes.
Girl, that's why you were in my music video. I mean,
Hey, hey, you gotta stay
the face
flexible, you
down
know.
ass
You gotta
up.
stay flexible. But yes, I
Right?
could go all the way to touch my toes, and I make sure my toes are pedicure, cutie, you know, so I can look at them.
Period. How long can you stay that way though?
I don't know. It depends.
It
I might be
depends on the
tired, and it
guy.
might not be that long, you know. But hey,
Right? Right.
but
Right.
I gotta wait,
They
you
might get
know.
excited too fast and you're like,
But
damn.
but but even if I want to move, I mean, I'm gonna have to tell him I want to move. If not, I'm gonna have to stay like that until he's done.
Right? Oh my god. Yeah, that's some pro shit.
That's a pro shit. No, the Superman. Now that's a pro shit.
Everybody decides to call right now.
So,
Am I
okay, so now more of a serious topic. We want to talk about today's topic. It's
hello?
about hello. Oh, well, he got kicked out. But today's topic is supposed to be heroes. Heroes that we have um gone in our
Instead of shutting
lives.
down.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm like people are trying to call, the dog's barking, the toaster just went off. I'm like, really? It's all against me today. The Wi-Fi.
So, like I was trying to tell them, our topic for today is about heroes. Heroes, and it's not about just people that we see on TV that saves your life, you know, when you're about to die, but they save your life. No, it's not just that. It's people that you have looked up to, well, maybe while you were young, you looked up to people, somebody that probably motivated you through your life, and
Motorboated
maybe
you.
that,
Yeah.
well, that's what kind of molds you into being who you are today. You
Right.
know, people that influence us through our lives, those are heroes because if they were positive role models, you know, they are kind of saving your life because then you'll grow up, you know, a pretty good person, depend a positive person. You know, it depends on how they raise you, and it's not just like your parents, your family, but like you said, on TV, maybe somebody on TV motivated you to do something. You know, made you
Right.
choose your career or anything like that. So yes,
Absolutely.
this is gonna be good. And so I wanted to know from you, who were your heroes at first when you were growing up? As we were kids, you know, we would watch a lot of TV back then, and whether it was TV or not, who were your heroes and why? What made them your heroes?
Hmm. I say like when I was um a kid, like a child, every like heroes we think about Spider-Man and Superman and um so I loved Spider-Man, growing up and you know, I guess that what or Superman, but as I look at it now, like a real hero that I looked up to as a child was like my grandfather, um, my father. They both who passed away in my life. My ancestors now. Um, they are my heroes.
Do you do you have any time where you felt like, yes, I'm looking up to you or something? What made them your heroes? What made you look up to them that way? Yes, they're family, but what made
Um,
it to that?
well, I want to say my mom too. I should say my mom,
Yeah.
uh, because as a child, my mom got me away from, you know, my mom decided she was a good mom, um, and I'm thankful for that. She found a good father figure for me, um, like and found my dad, and he adopted me, got me away from my biological father. Um, and so I guess I want to say my mom's the real hero. To my life could have been completely different if
Yeah.
she didn't, meet a good guy that adopted me and was a good father figure for me and a good man to my mom. My life could have been completely different if I was um, raised around my biological father.
Yeah.
And I want to say my grandpa because he was my father, when I was a baby. He was the father figure. Um, I was adopted by my dad at 3 years old. So when I was 1 to 3, my grandpa raised me. And yeah, I don't think I ever said that before.
Oh, wow. And that's the thing about people like that we look up to, that are heroes. Um, they really touch us in a different way.
Hmm.
That's how they bond us closer together with them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
And
so,
and it and because my mom saved my life, and my father did, and my grandfather, now I look up to them, to be you know a hero just like them. You know what I mean? Somebody who puts their safety of their child first, somebody who gets their child away from bad things. And yeah. What am I trying to say? I smoke too much pot. This is actually a
sure, why not?
podcast,
That's
to
what
be
happened,
honest.
right? You don't know how the effects of smoking, but hey, at least smoking can help you calm your nerves, be more happy, more positive, and hey, there's no stress.
True. Amen.
Yes. And I think as growing up is very important to have those people that affect our lives, um, more in a positive way. I mean, we do have people that we even look up to them and they treat us bad.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
yes. And so I know that
Mm,
when I was a kid, I looked up at my parents a lot because I feel like they were my heroes because they showed me to be who I am today, to
right.
be, knowing how to be independent, to take care of myself and take care of my children.
Amen.
Um, they
That's
showed
right.
me that you gotta work hard, you have to work. That's real life. You have to work hard to get what you want. In
That's
reality,
right.
that's what it was. And I feel like they both had a different type of role in me, you know, being raised by them and
Hmm.
what they expected of me when I grow up. They wanted to make sure that they didn't have to worry about me.
And that's
And
how
like
it
you
should
say, a
be.
lot of us look at TV, and yes, we grew up with Spider-Man and Superman, Batman
Right.
as our
Right.
superheroes, right? And we look
Hmm.
at that when we were watching those movies, it's like, that is so cool. They get to fly, they get to
Right.
jump on walls, they get to do all that stuff. It looks cool. and we always thought that was a hero. It's a
Exactly.
superhero. It has special powers, but you don't think normal people have superpowers as well that can kind of save your
Absolutely.
life, not
Yeah.
just in, oh, you're about to get hit and they jump and save you or something. Yes, that's being a hero, but also just someone that affects your life in a good way.
Right. And really puts them last in a way, like puts other people first, puts their kids first, puts you first, puts other people first. They're willing to do everything you know for you. And a hero is somebody who protects you and fights for you and um, tells you the truth, fights for the truth, tells you about the real life, not just the movies and that. A real hero is somebody who tells you the truth and fights for justice and tells you to work hard and to the real deal in life. Not sugarcoat anything. Like, to really tell you, like, like, if there's parents watching, like, tell your kids the truth, talk to your
Yeah.
kids. You know what I mean? That's what my mom did. So
And that's right, because like you say, why sugarcoat it? Because at the end of the day, if you sugarcoat it and they find out the truth somewhere
right,
else or something, they're gonna ask questions and they might not believe in you or trust in you. It's like, why do you have to lie? I mean, I'm not saying say it bluntly. Like, how are you gonna go tell like a young kid certain things? But you gotta speak to them at maybe at their age level, but still be
right,
honest about it. You just have to make them comprehend whatever you want to say to them without hiding it, like sugarcoat it, like you say.
right. Yeah, and be a true person. Somebody who is the truth. Yeah.
I mean, and we had other heroes. We saw, you know, idols. Idols are kind of heroes because they
Right.
kind of show us, you know, they motivate us. There's some that will really motivate us to choose a career, or you look up to them too. In so many different ways. Maybe there's even
Right.
people that look up to people and they think a hero because they done something. Maybe they help somebody else, charity, anything like that. But if you see this celebrities that are doing good things, then you kind of look up to them. You kind of see them sometimes as a hero.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is not there's not a lot of anymore, sadly. I think we all needed a new hero. We need another Jesus.
We
You know what
need
I mean?
something
Somebody.
because I really have noticed, the way the world is now
Yeah.
is more negative than
So
anything
negative.
positive. It comes to even something small where you don't see people. If you see someone struggling outside or you know,
Right.
people are not going to stop and pay attention or
Uh-uh.
help them out.
You're right.
You
Like,
know,
nobody cares about helping one another.
right? It's rare to see that.
And
You
that's a
know,
hero, really, that, like, everyday hero, that goes out their way. They're on their way to work and, they see a bystander, suffering or something. And, you, you got to
it
help. Like, and I know people wouldn't, they'll just turn the other way, but really, we all need to be a hero. We do.
we do because it does make an impact. They have said, whether you smile or you show like you're upset or angry, people see that it's
Hmm.
contagious. You
Right.
smile to someone, you hope that they smile back. They might like that. A lot of people will. They don't see that. But, again, yeah, there's no heroes right now that are positive that kids are looking up to.
right? Or it's just all materialistic. It's all, you know, I want to be, you watch all these video, and I'm a musician, and entertainer, so it's like I hate the fact that it's like you gotta look like diamonds and jewelry and all this, a limo and a tuxedo and all this shit. It's just like it's to me, people look up to materialistic shit now. You know what I mean? Like just things like I want a yacht and this and that, like and they don't understand that you got to work hard, and people like look at all these entertainers now like, oh, you could just get anything you want and blah blah blah, but it's not real, like back in the day it was like when you watched an artist or musician, it wasn't about all the materialistic shit. It was like a
Right.
good song, it was Michael Jackson, for instance, he was uh, a positive artist that wasn't materialistic. There he had a story, like all the music videos from the 80s or um, it's just different, and yeah, like it wasn't so materialistic like it is now. Everybody, all the kids watch all that and they want this, they want that, and you know,
You're right.
or, or they look up to like, everything is really bad, or and they follow in the footsteps of all these gang members or something, blah blah
and
blah,
and
you know,
that's what it is right there, though.
and they're not real
You know,
gang members. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Like,
No,
oh, I
but
just want to join a gang because Joe Schmo in the gang, my favorite rapper, but that's
and
not
that's
how
what
it
they see on
works.
TV, and that's the people they look up to. It's
Right.
not positive. It's negative,
Yeah.
and yes, that could be maybe their hero, but that you look up to. But
And
can't
they
you
need to
see
know the
what's going on?
difference. Like
Yes,
there's, gangsters, that were really gangsters. You know what I mean? That, it was just how they grew up. It was, and they'll tell you, like OGs will say, look, it's bad. I did my time in prison. Don't go down this road like I did, blah, blah, blah. And, or, they really was raised in the gang or raised in the neighborhood. Now it's not like that. People just watch a music video and they go, oh, I'm a blood. No. And that's how people get into trouble and all this shit, and it's not real. Like, it's the difference is like, I'm not saying that gangbangers are good in general, but like you don't just watch a rap song and join the gang. And people are like, oh, I want to be a blood and a crip because my favorite rapper.
right,
Right. But it's like in reality that's not, they don't know what, like, you know what I mean. I don't even know.
right. They don't know. They don't. They just know what they see on TV. So, like
Yeah.
you say, yeah, they're looking up to this person, but they're seeing all this negative stuff, not just being on a gang, but like you say, materialistic. They're all wearing chains. They got the cars. They
Right.
got the girls. They have the houses. We don't know if they do. I mean, they just put in that for the video shoot, just for
Right.
their video.
And it sucks
Or
that it's like that. And like me being in the music industry, it's like, oh, I have to like, do this, do that, and like, or else people won't um like
are
enjoy
gonna
it if
yes,
it's not
right.
materialistic, or like if there's no chains in it, or I don't know how to explain it, or like
No, but
money
it's
or this
true
or
though.
that. And I'm like, and I
It's
hate that. To me, it's so it's like fake. You know what I mean? It's like it's a persona that I'm not, you know what I mean? Because I'm a struggling artist and I have to make myself look rich for 5 minutes for a music
right,
video. But in reality, hell no. Let me go
right.
return my chain right after the shoot. You know what I mean? It's like
I mean, some of them, of course, they got, they invest and maybe they do have that. But a lot, like you said, like, hey, you don't have all that. You don't have stuff to go ahead and invest in it just for a video shoot, maybe at that time, but
Right.
not the rest of your life. But yeah, but these others, they make it look like that's what they have every day. That's what they wear.
Yeah, and it sucks that like that's the box they like put us in now. Like we have to look like that, or else people won't watch our music videos or support us or blah blah blah. Like I wish it was like back in the day where it was art. You know what I mean? A music video was art. It was a hole in the wall place. It was uh, a real neighborhood, a real, street, a real subway, real graffiti on the walls and, just cool urban stuff or performing live and just being so simple, like just sitting there singing. But now you have to do all this and all that. And, it sucks how it is.
Yeah.
It's not
And
about
I
the art.
also wanted to say, how we say, you know, as a child, we looked up at our family members.
Hmm.
And I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, they can't look up to their parents at all, or even
No.
if see if they're with their parents, because there's mostly single mothers, and there are single fathers, that just parent, have the kids all the time and everything like that. And so they have to be the ones kind of struggling and kind of try to be a hero, but then there's those situations where they're not, like we said, it's like
Right,
the kid will
right,
look up to you, but you're not giving them what they want or what they need as a child, which is your attention. You should go ahead and push them to be better than you, to live a good life, or,
right,
you want to
exactly.
go ahead and make them feel good about themselves. And a lot of times you see all this
You
stuff
don't.
that's going on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Or people I've noticed are like selfish.
Yeah.
They have all. They're blessed to have so many kids. And they're like, you know, tweaking or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're blessed to have beautiful kids, and you could be such a good, hero, but you're not giving your kids attention because you're sitting there doing drugs in the other room. You know what I mean? It's just really
Right.
sad. It's really
Is
sad.
that a hero that your kids is looking up to you while you're there doing drugs or getting
Right.
high?
And in that
No.
case, kids, I guess either they go down the bad path or the good
Yeah.
path.
Right.
And mostly, it's so hard because there's no, heroes to look up in general, even if they have parents that are, uh, good or bad or whatever. There's no,
Yeah.
like, if you don't have good parents, there's no people to look up in general.
Right.
Uh,
Because that should
so,
be your
and they go
one of
down a
your heroes.
bad path now.
Is the people that raised you grow up are the people that should be a hero to you. And
Hmm.
yes, a lot of kids are not growing up right. And so, like you said, they could either go the same path as them or actually completely do the opposite because they don't want to end up like them. So,
Exactly.
you
That's
know,
right.
we don't know. It just depends on what goes in that child's mind, you
And I
know?
do believe, that a hero, or, now I'm going to angels and stuff like that. A hero, an angel. I do believe, though, if you do choose a bad path or a good path and you had a fucked up situation, at home and, you're longing for a hero in your life, somebody to look up to, I do believe along the way you do get somebody in the darkest moments, in the even if you're lost, and astray, and you know there's no way back home. It feels like I do believe that within that darkness there will be a hero along the way. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes people, find a hero right away, and they can just, you know, or they
That
can
it could save their life.
have it sometimes where they're a hero themselves
Right.
and they have some kind of ability, because I met a lot of people who, had bad childhoods and, rised above it all and they just had themselves. And I asked them, who was your hero? How'd you, and they tell me it came to me. I just, you know, it, sometimes people have it, sometimes people don't. And, you know,
That is true. That is true. You know, because like you
it's
said,
out.
they could have been at their lowest, and one day it got into their mind that they can change. They don't need no one. They have to do it for themselves, and that's where it
Hmm.
comes from first. Yourself. And so yes, you could become your own hero. You could become your own hero because you have
Right.
accomplished a lot, and hopefully you could be inspiration to somebody else, with the same situation, and
Absolutely.
yeah, but it's like nowadays you can't even like pass by someone and say good morning to them, just to say good
Right.
morning or
I
to the
know.
smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I-
And it's so sad. Like, one day there's going to be like a big, thing that's going to, a bigger picture here, that's going to, we all going to have to come together and, fight as one, from something major. And we're too busy like treating each other like shit when, something major is coming, So I just think it's really important to try the best, like, with your podcast or with my music, or like just try the best in these times to like, inspire people or to make people feel like they're not alone, or to bring people together and to be a hero and to inspire people to be a hero at this moment, because not a lot of people are doing that, and wanting to come together. Everything's so divided, and it's sad
eh,
because at the end of the day, we're going to get hit by something big like World War III, and we're all fighting each other. When we can
exactly.
all be strong together and save each other. But I guess you know what? Now we should talk about villains. What it is
Yeah,
there's a lot of villains.
there is. There is.
You know,
Um, the way I see it, yes, I agree with you. We are so divided here.
we
Um,
are.
why why do we have to fight with the same people in the same country? Why do we have
Exactly.
to fight with our own race? Or why
Yeah.
do we have to just keep fighting with the neighbor down the street, because you guys can't agree? But
Right.
there's the bigger picture where, again, yes, what if they start bombing and then,
Yeah.
well, everybody, yeah, has to save themselves, but,
And I
you
hate
know,
to
it's
say it, like people are gonna like we need to wake people up now and try the best we can to shine light to this world and bring people together by speaking up, by doing anything we can, because it's going to be too late or something. And it's going to have to be, like, I hate to say it, a blackout or something for everybody to come together. And oh well, now we have to come out of the house and help each other, love the neighbor as herself, because they got candles and we don't have any electricity. You know what I mean? So
right,
it's like
right,
one day we're going to
and
be hit, something is going to happen like that, where we're going to have to all come together. So we need to
true.
prepare ourselves now.
Well, and that's another thing, people are like not liking the politics, the government, the president, whatever. But if we're
There's
say we're even
so
mad about a
much.
law, but nobody's standing up like, okay, if so many people feel this way,
It's
why
so
aren't they doing it right?
confusing.
I mean,
It's
everybody's
really
doing
mixed up.
well, and they feel like they have to riot. Yes, you're right, but
Right. Oh my
you
God.
don't know what to do. You don't know the cause or really cause or anything, and you just able
Right.
to
Yeah.
bring
Most people just go out there, they want to fuck shit up. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like, and I'm for people that peacefully protest. You know what I mean? It's our right.
but you
But
get
it's
more
like
and more
people don't even
people.
give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like, do you know what's going on? No, I just blowing up some shit, and that's sad. Like,
yeah,
that's sad.
it is. It is. And
How much anger people have, in the world when
and that's the thing, I don't know what happened, but I think the pandemic made it worse.
Yeah, it's really weird times, you know. And
It
I
made
pray
it
for like the new generation of kids, you know. Like just imagine like what they're gonna have to go through if we don't pave a good way now. It's,
right.
you know, where it's gonna be shit, terrible for them. And I pray for like the babies now, like when they're my age, how's the world gonna be? You know,
Right.
I feel like it's better to be older than it is to be younger now, and it's sad.
Yeah. It's just again, I felt like the pandemic made you separate, made
Right,
you like not bond no more because things have been
you're right.
different. Like say even family get-togethers to holidays and stuff like that. It's not
Hmm.
like how it used to be. And I mean,
No,
there's still people that do, but you see it less now again because we got used to being by ourselves, most of us,
right. Yeah,
or
no
not really
human.
interact with anyone
Yeah,
or just be mad at the world.
right. That's right. And, you know, like my mom's generation, you know, they went through shit too, you know, all sorts of shit like this in the world.
Right.
But the, you know, people that are like older than me, like my elders are like, oh, we didn't see none of this shit though. Like we didn't like what? Like when they went and, you know, rioted or, you know, protested back in the day, it was like for like I don't know. It was just different. It was like they really wanted to make a difference and change and come together and rebuild. It feel like people want to just tear down, you know, everything. And back in the
Right.
day, it was more like, you know, they wanted change. They wanted, you know, it just was better family values. People just, I don't know. You're right. Everybody's
Well,
becoming so distant.
and that's what it is mostly. I think the riots that's been going on throughout ages are the same way. People they
You're
react
right.
negative and destroy stuff, but they wanted to speak. And that's the thing, it's about getting your word out there. I mean, they're trying to be heard. And
Hmm.
one person cannot change everything, but slowly if you get more and more people that
Yeah.
support each other, we could actually make a difference.
Right, instead of just, yeah, causing more chaos than we, you know, we need a
But it's
peace riot, a love riot. You know what I mean? I'm all for disturbing the peace, you know, but in a good way. Where, you know, a love riot, like we need to all come together and sing "Kumbaya" in the streets.
no, not like that,
You
but
know, like we need a peace walk. I mean, not, you know, it's it's crazy. But I mean, that's why, you know, I feel like the hero topic, and I wrote a song called Hero this year. And I just feel like, you know, we need more heroes in this world, you know. And
there's
yeah,
people that we look up to. They'll bring more positive than negative. There's so much negative everywhere.
so
You
much
you
every
watch
day.
TV, mostly negative. You open up your social media. There's always some kind of
Negative,
fight
yeah.
or something. You'll be seeing so many. What I've been seeing lately a lot is like a lot of influencers or content creators are getting killed. There's all this stuff going on, and then
So
that
much shit like
thing.
that. You know how many people I see like getting killed, like rest in peace on my Facebook, like so many people, like that there was a shooting from a rapper in Vegas, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like we don't need any of this. Like over what? Over like rapping, and like we're killing each other over like Facebook drama.
Well, like
That's
that one,
crazy.
that one that happened here in Vegas, the content creator that
Mhm.
shot the other guy on live. So,
Right. Right. And it was
and
like a
for
whole
what?
live thing, and somebody died over it. Like really?
And for
That's
what? There was
so
no reason.
no
Something
reason
about
at all.
who was better or bigger or whatever like
What
that.
a waste. It's just a waste.
And that's the thing too, right there, that changed a lot. A lot of people like to talk shit online.
Right.
As long as they're behind that phone, behind that computer, they'll talk that shit, you know. And but then there's people that will go ahead and hey, they'll pull up. You just don't know what you're doing
Right.
before shit. You get mad at someone, or they say it to your face, and then you end up fighting. You know, fist fight,
Hmm.
stuff like that. But now it's like everybody wants to be tough on the internet and bully somebody else, but
Right.
then you don't
Like,
know what the consequences that can happen with that.
and they're like doing it to go viral, and then
Right,
it's like they go viral by a murder. Like, oh, that's a good way to go viral. Good for you. Like, like it
right.
just sucks how things like that go viral. Like we all like
But
that.
but
Like
see,
we
there
love,
you go right
we love
there.
all that shit. People, I
There
mean,
you go right there though. Okay, so people do it for views, right? They want that
hmm,
content. They do it for views. That means you're seeking attention. Some
yeah,
formal way you are seeking that attention, which that means you didn't get that much attention when you were growing up. That you're
that's yeah,
seeking it. Yes. A lot of people do like to try to grab the attention right now because
hmm,
of course, people want to do social media because they can get paid if they do well and they see other
right,
people. They could consider them their heroes. But in reality, it's like then you get addicted to that because that's an addiction. Because once you start seeing you getting a
mm,
lot of views, you want more and you want more. And so people start creating crazier content and
right,
some that will go ahead and end up killing someone.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for what? Just to get those views, just to get that attention,
I
even though
mean,
it's
really, is
negative,
it worth
then
that?
that
Like,
means you did not get
wow.
attention while you were growing up.
Just like like people would rather like record people. Like if they see a fight or something going on, let's just record them instead of helping people. Or they
Right.
would rather like it's just like, oh, let's fuck this person dying on the floor, but I got to make a Snapchat and post it right now of that.
Right.
Like,
Instead of being a hero
right?
and calling the ambulance
They
or
want to
something
go
to save
viral,
their life, because that is kind of being a hero. You're kind of saving their life, even though you didn't do nothing but make a phone call.
right?
That's
But
saving
they
their
too
life.
busy
That's being a
recording it.
hero. But
Yeah.
instead, people rather no, that's not my business, or like you said, they rather record that or take a picture so they get some views.
Or laugh
But
at it and make fun of it.
yeah,
I'm like, people are just, but I do love the people and the influencers. Like, I mean, like like your podcast is so positive and, you
thank
speak
you.
your mind. And it's
Yeah,
like, or like there's the funny skits people do and like the positive, fun, funny stuff. And, and then you see like some negative shit on your Facebook. And then I'm like, oh, hell no. I need to get off my Facebook because
it
like
drains
you
you.
see
It
like
drains
all
your
this
energy.
apocalyptical stuff, like the world's ending, a meteor's coming, all this fake shit, like saucers in the air, like we're gonna get electrocuted in the sky, and I'm like, and everybody's tripping.
Right,
Like they try to make everybody trip over like stupid, like that stuff that's not even real.
right.
There's no meteor. You know what I mean? I'm like,
So, so what inspired you to write that song, "Hero"?
um, um, what inspired me to write that song, Hero? I guess the time that we're in, the time in uh, the world. Um, I kind of just, I wrote it when I was, really, really upset. I usually do that a lot. I usually write music when I am at my lowest. Like,
Yeah,
because there we go. Like, another thing that can save us is like music saved my life, or doing things like, um, activity. I mean, being an artist, being a singer, being a model, being that saves people's life, and they can put their work, their hurt into you know their work, and make something positive out of their hurt. So that's what I usually do when I write a song. I'm in my darkest, saddest moment, and um, the music saves me. So, and I guess, yeah, music saved my life. Of course, other heroes, and then I got to
Yeah.
thinking about all this and all that about, like, because the hero subject can go far. Like,
Yeah.
it really can, and people just think it's like Superman or something, but it's really what saved me. Like, was my hero in my darkest time is writing music and getting it out on paper. It's good therapy for me, and um, I guess Hero came out, and because I guess writing and making that song and creating music saved my life. It was my hero, and and it's about the world too. Like, we all need a hero. Are you willing to die for what you believe in? We all need a hero. Um, I walk in the footsteps of heroes. I was thinking about Martin Luther King. I was thinking about heroes, that they put themselves in their work. Like Frida Kahlo, she, put herself into painting and art, and that's what saved her. And she became a hero and saved so many people. And I was thinking, I follow in the footsteps of, like Frida Kahlo or Martin Luther King, somebody who had a dream. Um, you know, so many things that people fought for and freedom fighters in the past that we're just like, we don't even remember, you know? So, really, that whole hero song really just opened up my whole, soul to so many things, like so many different heroes, and trying my best to follow in the footsteps of heroes, um, and try my best to save people with my music, and because music saves my life. So that's what every, I guess they have, I we every hero has like a superpower, so I guess music's my superpower, and then like Frida Kahlo was her art. um, Martin Luther King had a dream, that we can all live together, and nobody's following in any of those footsteps. I mean, there is though, but it just got me thinking, like, we all need a hero. So I called my whole album Hero, and every song is, about life and overcoming obstacles and being vulnerable and showing your true self, and um, standing up for love and justice, and just what we need. We need light. We need love. We need a hero, and the whole album is really dedicated to shining light to this world and reminding people of heroes that we should follow in the footsteps of, and history, and reminding people that they're not alone and they can make it out of the darkness, um, to help people to come together, um, to stand up for the underdog, go against the norm. Um, and yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, that
that's
was like a
good
whole
though.
like Oprah Winfrey speech.
No, but that's good. And I know what your main goal is, to make sure that someone gets maybe inspired by it, or because there are other people that probably were in your place too, that were in their lows, and maybe they could be finding something in common in your music and stuff like that, that maybe it'll
Right.
inspire them or something, and maybe you could be somebody's hero from that you know and and like you said, we need more positive in this world. I think, okay, and I know you're going to agree with me on this. I feel that everybody needs to just smoke weed,
Right. I'm like, where's my weed
because
pen right now?
you smoke and you're
Like,
calm and you're more relaxed and not stressed, you're probably in a good mood. Shit. That's what people need
Right?
sometimes. They need that and good sex.
Yep, good sex and sometimes occasionally Xanax. But you know what? It's
But
true.
whatever
It's
makes
sex,
anybody
weed,
happy, just keep it positive, be good, and relax. Instead of having all that anger inside,
built up. Like release it. Release yourself.
release that tension.
Absolutely.
Because you got that tension, you get pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it makes it makes
Just
people want to kill and everything like that. It's like, no, just smoke a blunt, go get some pussy, go get some dick, whatever you need to get. Just
oh my
look
god.
for shots. And before you try to even deal with anything, because the thing is though, you have to learn how to fight your battles. That's the thing. That's how you become your own hero. You learn how to go ahead and fight your own battles because there's stuff that you shouldn't even react so dramatically, get pissed off or emotional when there's
You're
other
right.
bigger things in this world that can affect you even worse. Don't get
Yeah.
mad because, okay, because something is not going right in your life. Okay. There's other people that have probably lived
Yeah.
worse situations than you,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so you really got to think about it. And if you feel
You're
like,
right. They
okay,
need
this
to
is
think
not a
about
big
it. Like
deal,
second
then
thought. They need to think like
you got to
before they
think before
act.
you react.
Because
Yes.
they're gonna end up in prison over something stupid.
Right.
You
That could
know
cost
what I mean? Like
you the
second
rest of
thought.
your life in prison. And then you don't realize that until you are there. The minute that that
Mm-hmm.
judge
Mm-hmm.
tells you that you're found guilty and you have to spend the rest of your life in jail, I'm sure you wish you could go ahead and go back in time now and do it correctly, but maybe you don't know how to do it right because you never had someone to look up to in the first place.
Right.
Nobody that really guided you or supported you or gave you that attention or something that motivated you in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need nobody else. You could be your
You're
own
right.
hero.
You're right. We don't need to join a cult or we don't need to, join a religion, just, to find something, it's all in our heart, and it's fine if people do, go to like church or like to cults or join a gang because, they want,
They want
attention.
to feel
They want to
wanted.
be part of something. Yeah.
Yes,
But really it's like you have yourself. I mean, you have your soul and we have the power and we can change. We don't need to follow this and follow that. You know what I mean?
right. We could actually make a difference, whether it's just for ourselves
Yeah.
or,
Instead of just joining
make it bigger
people
so
to
may
be
affect
cool.
other people. But
Mm-hmm.
we need to change things or our kids of the future are going to be living
Yeah.
hell, live in hell because they cannot get along. It'll be violent. It'll be killings and everything. And we don't want that. We really
Yeah.
don't want that.
Mm.
We want to continue with our children growing up. We want to go ahead and see their kids growing up and keep going this generation in this world. But slowly we are killing our own selves and hurting our own
We
country, our
are
own world.
our own world.
And we are being kind of like envious and selfish about it.
Yeah. And that's the evil eye. That's like it is getting stronger. It's like I don't know. What did I just say? I just smoked a hit of that weed. And I said, I just thought of Jesus. And, Jesus is a hero. You know what I mean? And we can also talk about like people that take people's, words, out of context. You know what I mean? Like people fight over Jesus all the time and this and that and this religion and that religion, but in reality we can all be like Jesus and die for what we believe in and stand up and bring love and peace. We don't have to be saved, or you know what I mean. Like God
Right.
is God. God is through every religion. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's
Right.
just
And
sad how people are like fighting right now in the Middle East over religion or territory and all this stuff. When it's like, why can't it just be
where they can work together,
love? Yeah, work
or
together. I
or
mean, God
really like find out why
doesn't
they're,
want that.
well, yeah, and they've been fighting for years. They've been fighting for a long time. So
You're
why
right.
are we still fighting?
Exactly. It's like, when is enough going to be enough? Like, how many more people have to die?
Yeah,
But the positive outlook on all this is there is heroes. There is people that get out of the darkness, and there is people that um, follow their heart and themselves and work hard and bring that values and pass it down to
right.
siblings, their loved ones, anybody around them, their kids. Um, that so that little light that we do have in this world is really
It just
bright, and it overpowers, and it will win at the
it
end.
will. The positive usually overtakes everything negative away, but it's
Yes.
become so dim, that light. We need to brighten that light again. And like I said, we do need more heroes. We need them to be out there every day. We need them to go back where we're even helping an elderly person walk across the
Right.
street. Um, People just needs to be. They don't have to
Compassionate
have
or
a reason
remorseful.
to be nice. Just say good morning, or just even smile at someone. And that could
Right.
even make a huge difference in their life, because they could be going through something bad that morning, and then you just say good morning and smiled at them. Hey, you could have changed their lives at that moment,
You scared me.
made them, you know, have a purpose still, something, because
Mm-hmm. It can
there's
go a
not a
long
lot of
way.
that anymore.
No. It's like when you say hi to people and like good morning and smile at people now, they look at you like, what the fuck are you smiling at me for?
Right,
Like, you're like,
right.
hey, how are you? And they're like, and I'm
What?
like, whoa. I guess they just like, they're shocked when people are nice, and or when I'm like, hey, how are you? And somebody's like, good, how are you doing back? I'm like, oh, somebody was finally nice
Right.
back to me. I'm like, wow, they're cool. Like, or like, people are just like going to the grocery store. People are like, fuck you, bitch. I'm trying to get my milk. I'm like, bitch, you should just go pick it up at the drive through. Like, why
They'd be
are you
fine.
coming in the store bitching over milk?
Man, people be fighting with the employees. People fighting with just anybody. Women fighting men, and oh man, just like you said, there's too much negativity that it drains your energy, and you don't want to see it no more.
Right, right. But, we will, the world, I feel like we will, I hope, I pray, that um, we will come together more people and love one another, and it's not so hard to love, like they make it. It's
That is true.
or
That is true.
or the world becomes safe in a way for people, and they feel protected and stuff. And I feel like it's like, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean?
So yeah, and
Nowhere
you know what
safe.
though? I
Nowhere
mean,
to go, nowhere to hide. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
boy, that was a good topic. Um, Heroes
That
is
was
a
actually
big
a
important
challenge.
thing in our lives. And, like I said, hopefully your song or your album, your whole album actually inspires someone and
Right.
does
I
it
mean, that's what I
for your
have to
purpose.
offer.
Yeah,
And, that's my way. That's my power of my hero. Is music, and I sang since I was 3, and you know, entertainment is supposed to make you feel better, and it's supposed to make you feel not alone, and to feel vulnerable, and to feel to fill. You know what I mean? Um, so, you know, whether people, whether I get famous or not, you know what I mean? Or if,
Right.
people listen to the song or one person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just hope, I make people feel good, that's it, or bring people euphoria, to just feel happy and, or, to
Well,
dance, to, enjoy life. And,
yeah.
and I'm going to try the best I can with my power, which is music, why I'm here on this earth, you know.
Well, tell these people where they can find your music at.
They can find me LILRHEUK on YouTube. And I just want to say thank you for having me on this show. I've been wanting to be on here for like 3 years. I've been bugging you, and then we pushed it back or postponed it. I'm like, oh my god, I got
Well, whenever you want to come back, you are more than welcome, you
okay.
know.
And we're
And
gonna have
yes,
something too. Like I have birthday party September 4th, and
okay.
we're gonna talk about it. But
Yes, we're
off
gonna talk
air.
about it.
But we have something coming out for that.
Oh,
Like
okay,
we're gonna be
okay,
working
yes.
again. So and you keep shining light with your beauty too, because you
Thank
are
you.
beautiful and you take care of yourself. And I see you working, and you always post positive stuff, and you're always supporting like artists, everybody, like in chemical, like everybody's like, my producer knows you, like, shout out to Sound Gallery Studios, or um like you really have supported art and supported our community and gave us a voice in our Las Vegas community over these past couple years.
Thank you.
I mean probably for a long time more, but I mean literally like you just popped up, probably like 2020, I want to say. And
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, I have to like meet you. And I'm so happy we did a music video.
me too.
And and we're gonna work more. It's just it's just cool what you do for us.
Thank you. Thank you. I just feel like, for one thing, is I like supporting small businesses or just anyone that wants to go ahead and do some kind of entrepreneur. Go ahead and do some hustle. Do something that's gonna go ahead and
Right.
make you that money, because there's plenty of
Right.
money
And you
out
do
there
it in
for
a good way
everyone,
though. You
and
don't do it
in a
like you
positive way.
trying to make
And
money and scam people, like all that bullshit.
right,
You trying to
and
team up with people and work and get something together for our community. You know what I
just
mean?
bring
Not
people
like
together.
yeah, and help everybody. Like, you could have probably charged me like 20,000 to be in my music video. You know what I mean? But you blessed with you bless artists, or like a lot of music videos you've been in, like tons, you know what I mean? And it's like as a model, and it's like that is so cool how you
Thank you.
support a rapper or an artist, and you are, a strong, beautiful woman,
Thank
that's
you.
classy but sexy, and you have a cool edge, and it's you're really cool. Now I'm
You.
high. No, I've been high, but
But
yeah, these
yes, I
twins.
thought we had a really good topic. Thank you for the topic for today. And like I said, anytime you want to come back, just let me know and we'll talk some
Okay.
more. I like talking.
I'm gonna
I
try to
like
do
to
that.
put stuff,
Your
huh?
favorite sex move. I'm gonna try to get all the way down like that. I don't know if I could breathe.
Touch your toes. If you could touch your toes, hey.
I
If
don't
you
know.
can't,
I'm gonna be
you
stuck
better
like
work
that.
on that though. If you
I'm
cannot, you better learn how to touch your toes.
gonna...
It's like I'll be looking, it's like, oh, my toes look all pretty. And then I
Right.
touch them, and that's what they're like. But with that being said, I just want to say again, if anybody wants to join this podcast as a special guest on Little Rook, just hit me up and just pick a topic. We could talk. It's open mouth, open topic. We talk about anything. This is where you could go ahead and talk about how you want to feel, whether you're angry, happy, whatever. Just go ahead and smoke a blunt too, and you'll feel good afterwards.
And open that mouth.
And open that mouth. Hey, that'll make some people real happy.
That's a hero right there. I forgot about that kind of
That
hero.
is, that's right.
That saved me too. I
Every
mean,
time I open my mouth and go,
you saved someone's life.
that
That's
is that's a hero. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and
see,
try to
this
be a
topic can
hero
keep
tonight. No,
going. It can just keep going. Now we're like talking about sex heroes.
hey, and it's true that is a hero. Whether a
Right?
man is eating a woman's pussy or a girl sucking a guy's dick, if you
Exactly.
you make them come, you're a hero to me in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Oh well, it's nighttime. It's kind of getting dark out there,
Oh
so
my
it
god,
is
it is,
time.
huh? Oh my god, I need
It
to take
is
my glasses
time.
off.
But with that being said, thank you, Little Rook, for coming in. Thank you for everybody else that showed up for a little bit. See you soon on the next episode of Open Mouse Podcast with Professor Jazz. Goodbye.